If you don't know this man's face yet, hopefully you get to see a lot more of it in the next coming years. This is Jacobian Morgan, quarterback, Jackson State, 6'4", 228, out of Canton, Mississippi. Welcome, Jacobian. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How everybody doing and how you doing? I know we already talked, but I got to say it again.
Well, this is their first time seeing you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, hopefully they get to know you a lot better, at least through our show a little bit. But you just had Pro Day over at Jackson State. You had the HBCU Combine. I know you've answered this question a million times. It's probably like, man, how many times can I say it was awesome? But how's it feel? Like, all right, the little kid inside me is here, close to draft day. How do you feel, man?
No, it was awesome. First time being in the Commander's facility, it was definitely a sight to see. And just them being able to host the HBCU Combine and things like that, it was so important, to be there and to be a select few of the guys that was there to showcase our talents. Like I said, it was a blessing, man. I love being in those types of rooms because you never think you'll get in those types of room and play ball and be with these types of guys until you're in those rooms. So, yeah, man, this was awesome.
Was a former teammate out there? Did Rob make an appearance since you're in Washington?
He got to. That's Rob, though. He gonna show up anytime and every time. So he had to come support his guys. And we share the same ages, so he's seen his people and his ages. So yeah, he was there.
Rob show up uninvited sometimes? Is he one of those guys?
Man, we always looking for Rob. It's never uninvited with Rob.
Oh man, that's we're talking about former Jackson State star, one of the best players to come out of that school ever, Rob McDaniel. But talking about obviously yourself, don't shortchange yourself ever. If you guys are unfamiliar with this game, Jacobian Morgan started off at Syracuse, made his way back home into Mississippi at Jackson State, finished his career with almost 5,000 passing yards, 43 touchdowns, almost 700 rushing yards as well, and another 15 touchdowns on the ground. Man just does it all. And that's why there's a lot of buzz around him from some NFL teams because of his ability inside and outside the pocket. But I want to get to know you as a person, man. Mm-hmm. So going away, everyone transfers these days, and we won't get too much into the NIL stuff. But really, that process of going from Syracuse, coming back home to Mississippi and representing Jackson State, and putting that JSU on, like how did that feel for you? Was it something important for you to represent home?
Yeah, it was very important for me. That's where I grew up at. So Jackson State is all I know. So when I first made the commitment to go to Syracuse, I always told myself if something went wrong, I was going to always come back home to Jackson State. I didn't want to entertain any other colleges or anybody because I just knew that's what my heart was. Even when I was with Syracuse, I was still supporting Jackson State. I think that was around the Deion era. I was still watching the games. I still try to tune in as much as possible. So when the moment came for me to make that decision, it was fairly simple. Like I said, I cut off all communication. I was not on social media. I was firmly Jackson State through and through. So yeah, it was pretty easy for me. And as far as the NIL situation, it really didn't play a part for me because that's what my loyalty was. So yeah.
I've noticed that every time I mention NIL, people think I'm talking about the money part, this and that.
Yeah.
I'm really just talking about just the process of like human to human of like nobody likes moving, like and packing. That's what I'm talking about is like just moving states and picking a new home. Like, who cares about the money part? But
you literally going into an unknown situation. And for me, I was such a loyalty guy. My loyalty was with Syracuse. When I committed, it was hard for me to even leave, to know that it was like they came and, took me in with open arms, and I just have to make that decision to leave. It was kind of hard for me, even though I wasn't from there. So I definitely understand that. That's a whole aspect. We still, at the end of the day, though, we still kids, we still young, and we just transferring and moving all around the world, just trying to make a way for our dreams. So yeah, it's a tough process, but you just hope and pray that God take you through it. So yeah.
Yeah, whether you lean on God, whether you lean on a family and home, and that's what we're talking about is home and family. And I found you had some quotes right after Pro Day and the HBCU Combine that I liked because I think it translates to more of real life and not just your game. You mentioned how you like to keep everything calm, try to manage the game and do as best you can, keep everything like clean in the pocket. And that translates to real life too. You coming back home to Mississippi, where did you learn this kind of poise, like not just in the pocket, but in life to help make decisions and navigate through a lot of like tough challenges like that?
Yeah, just growing up, man. My dad, he always told me pressure went in our vocabulary. So just understanding is never such thing as pressure. It's a privilege to be in those situations. So to always, when it's high, you just trying to find when everybody's here, you kind of just try to bring yourself back down to the medium and just really take it for what it is, and just to be in the pressure moments. Like I said, it's a privilege and it's a blessing. So you just want to give it your all. And for me, I'm a preparation type guy. So when I'm in these moments, I firmly believe in my preparation and my technique gonna allow me to, get me to the finish line. So yeah, that's kind of always been me. I was raised by my grandma and granddad, so it's not too much just energy. You just with your grandma and granddaddy. They always teach you the mellow ways and just the smooth ways, and you kind of just find your balance as a kid. Okay, I fit right there. So I think that's just always was me.
Man, there's no kind of love like grandparents love, man. Like I'm just thinking
Man, I'm
right now,
telling you.
my grandma back home up in Stockton, California,
Hmm.
sweetest. Like I don't know what the conversation is like with grandma, but if you
Yeah,
ever just want to feel some love and like just be someone sweet on you, like just call
yeah.
grandma.
Now facts, facts.
Who was who was I don't want you to pick favorites, but who was the most
Hmm.
hyped when you decided to come back to Jackson?
Oh, my auntie. It was a no brainer. My auntie is a through and through Jackson State fan, so she's been supporting. She went to Jackson State. She's been supporting Jackson State all her life. So we firmly, my family is deeply rooted into Jackson State, but my auntie is number one without question. So yeah, I got to give it to her.
Man, talk to me a little bit about that because there's
Mhm.
there's fandom, like that's college football in general. Like people bleed their alumni, they bleed their hometown, their home state. But every player, every man I've spoken to that comes out of Jackson State,
Mhm.
like or even just Mississippi in general, there's a certain aspect of love and
Mhm.
pride that you guys talk about home. Like what
Mhm.
is it about it? Is it because of football life, or what is it about home for you guys that makes you feel so prideful?
Yeah, Mississippi, I would say is we don't have the fanciest of the fanciest. We not the biggest of the biggest. So it's like Mississippi, everybody knows each other, everybody's kinfolk or something like that. So it's family is really all you got. You kind of you in the country, you go play with the local neighbors, and they'll really become your best friends, and they people become your people. So I think it's just a Mississippi thing. I can't really tell you what it is, but I feel like just the way we grew up and the way we was just all around, we fitted around each other. It wasn't no, I had to be over here. It was genuine love, and I might be with my friend's grandma or my cousins, and we just making the best of our time. So yeah, I just think it's a Mississippi thing. When you don't got too much, you kind of make everything the most you can. So yeah.
I feel that a little bit. Like definitely depending on how you grew up, you can resonate with those words a
Yeah.
lot. But it's something different, man. Like there's a family love, there's a family value there that like you guys really are appreciating in the
Mhm.
moment when you're coming from Mississippi. And I think that translates into the bigger picture, and we'll start talking about HBCU a little bit because
Mhm.
it's you guys got a lot on your shoulders. Like you don't get the opportunity to just represent you and put your best
Yeah.
foot forward. Like you have to represent all of HBCU, not just
Mhm.
your alum, but the greater HBCU, mission. Is that something that's a big part of your football life, and what made that important for you?
Oh yeah. On Saturdays, we rivals. We hate each other in the moment in between the fields, but at the end of the day, HBCU is a culture as a whole, and it's no pick me's. It's who was ever on the mic at that time. They all gonna speak well of HBCUs, and they always gonna put on the show for us. So it's just you got to take that pride, man. It means a lot to us guys to be able to come back home and the small town schools and play for a historical black college, and then to make it to these next levels in life and shine light on where we came from. It's a big thing to us, man, because like somebody got to pay the way, somebody paved the way for us, and we got to continue to pay the way for the younger generation to let them know that it's cool to do what we do. It's cool to come back home and play for these type of universities, and just to build culture and build family. That is, it's definitely worth it, man. Like the experience I got at Jackson State is like no other. Syracuse was his own world, and Jackson State was his own world. So I take definitely a big value in Jackson State and everything that they brought to my life. So yeah.
Yeah, well, some place already feels like home when you get to be.
Yeah.
I equate football players, and it sounds corny coming from a adult male older than you, but you
Mhm.
guys are superheroes, and I mean that towards the kids. Like
Yeah.
football is meant to be fun; it's a sport, and for the kids, you guys are literally walking superheroes. Do you
Mhm.
ever have a moment like after home games or just being around town where like
Yeah.
cool moments like with kids, the fans like, oh dang, that's Morgan.
Yeah. I get those all the time, and it's still shocking to me. Like I was just walking, I was just running around the neighborhood yesterday, and somebody came up to me, and it was an older guy using his truck. Like, man, I admire your game and things like that. So it's still a amazing feeling. Like after the games, even when I wasn't playing most part of my season this year, it was fans still coming up to me. It was still I was taking at least probably 100 pictures after the game, and I'm like, I'm not even playing. You know, as a football player, you think that's where the love come from, but when you still put the helmet down and the pads down, and you still get genuine love from the kids, and not even kids, the older generation, it's different. You know, that feeling you never wanted to die down because it's just like somebody always admire you, and when you just truly being yourself.
Man, well, my introduction to you was actually through Rob McDaniel. When I talked to him last offseason, he actually said nice things about you as well. And then through your agent, same agent, friend of mine, meeting you in San Francisco during Super Bowl week.
Yeah.
Of course, I was like, I want a photo with a national champion. Like, what you mean?
Yeah.
Flash that hardware, bro.
Gotta bring them rings out. It's always a good when we work off of them. You gotta flash them off sometimes. If not, yeah, I'm bringing them out every chance I get.
I got it because how fat those things are.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
be so nervous to wear them out. Like I got a buddy who has a Super Bowl ring with the Rams, and like showed me one time. He asked me, "Hey, do you want to put it on?" I'm like, "Not a chance, bro. I don't want to touch that. I'm too scared."
Man, see, you better than me. I definitely like, yeah. Let me hold it for a day or two. I'm gonna just walk around with it. Yeah.
You made a comment earlier about when it comes to the HBCU representation, and I want to talk about Jackson State. You guys are like the premier spot from the outside. Obviously, every school, every campus has its own vibe. I've spoken to Eric Hunter over at Morgan State. I've talked to Cam Ransom over at Bethune, and so every school has its flavor, just like outside HBCU. But for those that don't get to watch a lot of your guys' conference, what is it about Jackson State that makes it like that flagship program from the outside? Like what's special about the culture there?
I feel like that we treat it like professionals. We go about our business just like the bigger schools. You know, we kind of do everything by the book, and we want our coaches to still to show at the end of the day our swag, the way we play the game, and the way how much intensity and value we hold to the game. So Jackson State is definitely, you know, from the outside looking in, it's a lot of people that target us. Like we always the targeted game. We feel that pressure, but it's just, you know, that's the rich tradition that comes from Jackson State. Like when you have Walter Payton coming from Jackson State, it's always a certain level of respect that comes with it, you know. So I just think that's something that's been well beyond us, and it's something that we just continue to uphold in the future. So yeah.
You do a really good job of like putting attention on other people, even when you're deserving of just as much credit. And that's a quarterback in you, I would assume.
Yeah. It's, man, when you got to model yourself after somebody. It was always people before you. So I knew I didn't do it by myself. I was always trying to find somebody to model my game after, how to be a better man and how to be a better man of Christ. So I was just always, you got to find somebody to look up to. Like I said, it's almost impossible to do it on your own, you know. So
yeah, man, teamwork makes the dream work, and like you can't have a good team or a good plan without a good leader. One of the things I love most about when I did do my deep dive for this interview was leadership qualities. Alabama State, you shined incredible amount, but then you shined the light on the defense instead when asked about your performance. Rather than bask in your own success, like where do you pull that energy from? Was there someone specific that raised you, or just where do you get the notion to, you know, we before me?
Yeah, I would probably say my family. It's just having a big family. You know, you always taking account of other people's feelings and understanding that just as much hard work you put in, somebody else can put in that hard work behind the scenes for you. So it's always something that I always carry with me. I never wanted to shine directly on me. Like, I just play this game because I love it, and God gave me some talent to be able to play this game. And I know that as the quarterback position, we get a lot of the hoorah, we get a lot of the media attention, but it's guys that's on the team that deserve just as much attention and just as much of everything that we have. So anytime I have a chance to give back, or not only to the football team, anytime I have a chance to give back to the younger generation or something like that, that's definitely what I'm all about. It's just the man I've wanted to be. So just to be in these positions, I always told God I won't be there and get selfish. So when I get to these points, I always try my best to give back.
Well, I'm gonna put you on the spot a little bit. Who's next up at Jackson State? But not just your position, but any position. Who's next up that you're like, man, I want my boy to get so much more attention than he's getting yet?
Oh yeah, it's so many. We got a Jonas Fortillion, you got a Nate Rembert, you got a Kobe Paul, you got a. It's so many, and it's just the offensive side. Of course, I'm gonna probably be more on the offensive side, but the defensive side, you got Cam, we got our safety Cam, you got cornerbacks Mike Smith. Them some real ballers out there, and they take pride in their game. And they seen how much I took keen to my craft. I was always out there every day and pushing myself. So I know that they seen me, and I seen them do the same thing. Anytime I call them, they ready to put in their best foot forward for me. And I'm not sometimes like of now. If I call one of my receivers, they're still coming. They in spring football, and it's just a testament of those guys understanding that the grind never stops. Honestly, that everything's count to this point. HBCU football is a big thing to us, and it's really sometimes you can't turn down them calls. You really need every work that you can get because the challenges you face. So
I can imagine the challenges, and for any like Rams fans that are watching this right now, the reason why we want to shed a light on HBCU and what we're talking about is because it doesn't get enough national media attention, and for recency. Kobe Durant, South Carolina State, he's been on the team for the last few years. So there's players in the league all around, like hell, Shedeur Sanders in Cleveland started at Jackson State. So you really got to appreciate and understand that there's ballers down there at Jackson State and all these HBCUs that all that's missing is just media attention. And that's why we're here trying to do that.
Exactly.
But the incredible amount of humbleness, humility, man. We talked about it in certain games. I want to bring back this last part of one of your quotes. Where's it at? Yeah. As a person that knows how to deal with adversity at the quarterback position, that's one of the main things you have to have. It's just, being calm. And this league is a quarterback-driven league. Like, you guys are the center of attention. Everyone talks about team success is attached to the quarterback. Part of that process during the week, and I know you operate at a very high level in your preparation, and a lot of people have spoken highly about it, even your opponents. What part of that mental battle with defenses is your favorite part? And maybe it's the preparation, or is it something coming to fruition on the field come game day?
Yeah. Knowing that you might not get what you've seen on film is always a fun battle, I would say, because they don't want you to pick them apart. And they're going to give you out your best shot. They're going to throw 1,000 coverages at you. And they're going to, the defensive coordinator is going to scheme it up big for you. And I have plenty of talks after the game I go up to the defensive coordinator. He'll come up to me and like, man, we had to switch it up. Make sure you couldn't get this certain look or that certain look. And I was like, man, it's a win and a loss. You're out there, you done studied so hard, and then you just see so many different things on the field. But that's the quarterback position. You got to be able to adjust on the fly, and that's another testament of my coaches that they understand that too. They going into the game knowing, okay, this is what we see on film. But this also what they might give us. We did film from 2-3 years ago. We just seen how they just switched it up on us in past games and how they played other people. So, yeah, man, it's a lot that go into it, but it's nothing like going out there on game days and being able to pick it apart and still come out successful. So, yeah.
I can't. Yeah, that's like I'm thinking of. I didn't play a lot myself. Like I redshirted Division II, and I'm just thinking about high school and like some JUCO ball and preparing for a team. And I don't know how often this has happened to you, but then it's like you plan for perfect coverages and perfect defense, but sometimes you'll play a team and they're not doing anything. It's not that they tricked you. It's like they're playing bad defense. And that's harder. That's harder to play against.
Oh yeah, trust me, because I'll be out there, coach. He's supposed to be. He ain't there. Well, you gotta just do. He not there, Kobe. I'm like, yeah, he not there, but he do supposed to be there. So I get in that world too, where you can get too locked in and understand that it's just mistakes. At the end of the day, everybody gonna make mistakes. You can just have a bust play, and you can make your life so much harder. But you just canceling out stuff and doing things in your head. So yeah, I definitely understand that.
Like, I want to go hit the cold shot on cover 2 and there's 2 safeties there. I don't know why is he there.
Yeah, it does get like that.
Oh my God, man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're still here with Jacobian Morgan, Jackson State quarterback. No shots at the rest of the conference for bad defenses, but no, yeah. One part I did want to get from you real quick is going back to home, being home at Jackson. What is your absolute favorite part for someone who's never been to Mississippi? And if you can lean it towards food, you're gonna speak my language, because that's everything is food related with me, man. I'm bigger than I appear on camera. Yeah. What's one dish that you love that if I'm coming in, hey, newcomer to Mississippi, you gotta try this?
So if you was a newcomer, I'm taking you to Barry's. It's a restaurant. It's like a catfish. It's a seafood. No. It's a soul food place. You got fried fish, you got fried catfish, you got your collard greens, you got your salad bar, you got your dessert bar. You got literally all the soul food. And they give you these 10 plates. So you get the Mississippi feel. You drinking out of a 10 water jug, like a water can, and you eating out of a 10 plate. So that if that's not Mississippi, I don't know what you're gonna get, but it gives everything right there. And it's when you go in there, they play gospel music. They got like figures of people fishing. So it's a very wholesome environment. And I always said, if somebody always wanted to come to Mississippi and they wanted to eat some Mississippi food, Barry's is the number one place. I can bet my bottom dollar on it.
It's added to the list, man. Damn, that sounds good. I don't think I've had a catfish dish to where I'm like, yeah, I need that again. Because out in California, like, you got to be, someone really has to know how to prepare it, or like where to get it from.
Yeah, they got catfish, fried chicken, shrimp, baked chicken. You're gonna get you some hush puppies. You're gonna get you some macaroni. You're gonna get you some red beans and rice. You're gonna get everything. Yeah, cornbread. Yeah, you're gonna get it all.
All right, so I'm gonna need to book a flight to check out the Jackson State game next year. Let me know when.
I might go there today. I just might go after this.
Some post combine grub is what we're getting. Yeah. When I go to a Jackson State game next year, I'll let you know in town. We can hit that up. Now, I got you. We'll finish up this interview with looking ahead, looking towards the future. As you're leaving behind Jackson, what is there something? And I'll let you speak, a little bit bigger than yourself, because I know you're a very humble person, and I don't want to put you on the spot too much. But your impact, not just at Jackson, but HBCU as a whole, what do you hope your impact is that you left behind with the work that you put in there?
I hope I just left, I would probably say, just something to remember. Like, Jackson State was the first, the Celebration Bowl that we won, it was the first in history. And to know that I'm a hometown kid, and that I watched this team and they never had that championship. Now, mind you, I think it came a little later or something. I can't remember the first year they did the Celebration Bowl. But for me to just be there and to be at the games since I was a child in a stroller, season tickets, and to say I was the first one to do it, man, just to have my name in the history books is something that I always would love to see there. And just to go back and every time I'm around the fans, they always show me love. Anytime I'm around my coaches, my teammates, they always show me love. So it just shows that I've done something right. I always try to be the best person I could be, the best leader. And just besides the football player, I always try to be the best friend. Anybody that you can call on, anybody that, you needed something from, or you just needed someone to talk to. I was always wanted to be that person. I just feel like that was the God in me. That's my purpose. That's all our purpose, to serve others. So I genuinely take that into consideration in anything that I do. So just to be able to, like I said, give Jackson State their first one, man, it really meant the world to me. And chasing out there a second one and almost getting there, that was a testament in itself, just because God allowed me to get back to this point. Now it didn't go as planned. I ended up getting injured, but God gave me enough faith and enough strength to get to a point where I almost could have done it. He showed me, that I'm still the person that I truly believe in myself, and it's okay. But just the legacy I left at Jackson State, man, you can't question it, honestly.
And that's incredible. It takes a good amount of humbling to be asked a question like that and not even talk to anything about like your stats or like how great I am on the field, but you're literally talking about the leadership, and you're talking about for the next set of people to see like, hey, you can do this too, despite adversity. And a lot of credit to you, man. Anybody that goes through any kind of sports injury, especially in football, knows that road to recovery is like just not fun. It could be very, very lonesome sometimes. You've seen your boys play, you're like, man, I want to go outside too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You definitely right. It definitely hurts the spirit sometimes, but you're in good hands. The team got it. So
yeah, I know the boys are all close to you, so I'm glad you're able to push through that part. Now, looking more towards the future, NFL draft is a little over 2 weeks away. I know there's 7 rounds. There's priority undrafted free agency. There's hundreds of different spots you can end up landing in throughout the draft. What I want to talk about is you looking ahead to the NFL. Is there any quarterback, past or present, that you model your game after, like when you're growing up as a kid, or anyone that you just like really admire how they play?
Yeah, and I said this before, Cam Newton. That's my guy. Every time I score in the end zone, I do the celebration. I bring out the Superman. That's what I grew up watching. He's kind of the same physique. So now, mind you, he's a different beast. I wasn't doing everything he did, but he's definitely somebody I admire just watching as a kid, and taking his game and trying to really portray it into mine. So that's my guy. I never shy away from Cam. I can give out plenty of quarterbacks, but I love that's my number one.
Did you happen to run into Cam at the Super Bowl weekend?
I never did. Like I never spoke to Cam or nothing, but I always vouched for him. So it's gonna happen one day. I always vouched for him. I was like the Cam Newton of HBCU. So it's like I know my time gonna come. I'm just gonna be patient, and I'm not no real Cam Newton. I just want to meet him, sir. I really appreciate everything you did. I really modeled myself after you, and I just want to thank you. That's it.
Dude, the Cam Newton, like his peak era in the NFL was just unrivaled. Like we will never see that again. It's ridiculous what he did.
Yeah.
I saw him. I will say, I walked by him at Radio Row during the Super Bowl week. That dude could still play if he wanted to. That dude's built like a linebacker. Like I saw him, I was like,
yeah.
Why are you so big at quarterback?
Yeah, like he definitely put in the work, and the whole media presence, and see, I love all that. He get on the media, he get out them words of motivation, and he get back to work. He just see stuff like that. That's the type of person I am. You give out a little motivation, you give it to the people to take it, then you get back to work. So yeah, I'm gonna run into him one day. Trust me, and I'm gonna come back and tell you. I'm gonna come.
It's gonna happen. Yeah, if you get a photo with them, you post it, you better tag me. I want to see that.
Yeah.
But the comp is not far off. Jacobian Morgan, 6'4", 230. We talked about it earlier at the top of the show. So definitely some team is looking at the athleticism. But like I said before, it's a quarterbacks league. Everyone, it's like the margin of error is inches. It's minuscule. The real difference, the separator between a lot of guys, for what it sounds like, is the work done before games in the film room. I'm hearing that you're kind of a film junkie. Like, what's your favorite part of trying to dissect defenses in this day and age?
Yeah, just going and talking to my defensive coordinator and picking the minds of what really is the defense. Once you really get a grasp of what the defense is trying to do and the multiple ways that they get there, it's really an interesting game in itself. The way defenses can hide coverages and still show up in spots that you'll probably never think they'll get to. So that there is always a good, interesting. It's literally like you can't get bored with it because it's so many different looks and it's so many different like things the defense will do to you that is like you gotta in the film room. I'm looking like, oh wow, that's good. I need to learn that one because you don't want to get caught in that. Like, oh wow, okay, I see that. I see this stunt now. And the way the defensive structure, man, like I literally take it like watching TV because it's so much in the game. You can never just act like that you have it because you're gonna always see something that you've never seen before. So yeah, that's it for me.
I'd rather be surprised by some on a Tuesday or Wednesday than on a Sunday when
I'm telling
in
you.
live fire.
I'm telling you, because when it gets live, it's live. It ain't no, hold on, what is it? No, it's the real deal.
Or it could be the coach. He's not where he's supposed to be. It could be that again.
It could be, and you will get a few words, but it's fine. And just make the play next time.
Just got to make it happen, man. Somebody got a lot of faith in you, man. I believe that you can and will make it happen.
Thank you.
I don't want to be biased, but obviously we're a Ram-centric podcast here. And hey, man, there's some room in that QB room. Los Angeles weather's pretty nice. That's what I'm saying.
If you can talk to anybody or anybody watching this, I would love to go to the Rams. I'm not biased with anybody. I would love to play football for the Rams. So yeah.
Man, I would be, if that happened, I'm gonna be at training camp already with credentials, so I'll be bugging the hell out of you over there, man.
Man, that's fine with me.
But last question, not put you on the spot yet again, but more for the fan base. I'm not speaking to the teams of like, oh, what's this NFL executive getting out of you as a player, but the fan base. What is the fan base getting out of you, man? Because not a lot of people get to watch Jackson State or know you as a person. What's a future NFL fan base getting out of Jacobian?
Number one, my leadership. Like I said, as the quarterback position, that's the number one thing that you want to see out of your quarterback. So understanding that, like I said, adversity comes, but you have someone that firmly believes in. It's definitely something brighter. You either going into a storm, you in a storm, and you coming out one. So that's just adversity in a nutshell. And to understand that it's always going to be some good on the other side if you just stay consistent and work. Number two, I'd probably say my versatile style of play. Understanding that, you have to adapt in these games and being able to, if the game needs me to sit in the pocket, still have the accuracy and the technique to throw the ball in the pocket, to move around and still be in the pocket and stationary and throw these balls and deliver good balls. Or if the game needs me to be on the run or use my feet a little more, I got enough athleticism and speed to get a first down or break it for a touchdown along with. So just being able to, adapt to the game. And somebody who really takes this seriously. Like I know this probably not is something that you would say, but I understand the game of football and the love of football and how I got here, understanding that God has put me in this position and understand I would never short God. Being in these positions, in these rooms and interviews like this is just a testament to my life. I'm a small town kid. So I take everything I can on the field, off the field to be better than I was yesterday. So it's just the guy I am, man, to know on the field, I'm looking at the smallest things just to get a small detail, just to get a big play. I can go back to the sideline, coach, I see this, that, and this, a student of the game, and a real person that's genuine on and off the field. So that's my pitch. It's genuine from the heart. It's not like I'm trying to sell it, but it's just who I am. So,
man, ladies and gentlemen, if you want a motivational figure that who's gonna be a motivational speaker after his NFL career is done, go follow Jacobian Morgan. All his social is going to be up on the screen for you here.
Yes, sir.
What I do want you to leave our fans with, though, is you've dropped some nuggets of knowledge, some golden gems. Whether you want to reuse the one that you said your dad says, or you want to leave our fans with your personal favorite quote. Why don't you send us out with a nice little quote for our fans? Words of motivation.
I gotta go back. Let me make sure before I go back to what my dad said, because that's my one.
You don't want your dad to be like, man, you said it wrong.
Yeah, that's the one. Pressure isn't in our vocabulary, and to the fans, it's a privilege to have that pressure on your back. You done made it to somewhere that allowed to have pressure, and you take in those moments, you take in those gems that God has put you in the room to be able to excel, and it's up to you to stay prepared, do your 111 every day. And when these times come, you excel in life. So it's not in our vocabulary, guys. Pressure is not in our vocabulary. Understand that.
Man, it doesn't seem like it's in anybody's vocabulary that comes out of Jackson State, man. Well, we're rooting for you. If you come around LA, whether it's this spring or whether it's any time at all, man, hit me up. We'll treat you to some good Mexican food out here, because I don't know, is there good Mexican food in Jackson?
No, that's probably not what we known for. So I'll definitely be coming to LA for that. Yeah.
We'll find a good taco spot for you, man. But ladies and gentlemen, Jacobian Morgan, thank you, sir, for coming on. And make sure you're checking out where he lands in the NFL this April.
Thank you.